And the best and the greatest day to be alive is today. And welcome to the Wise Hour. I'm your host, Jay Mullane, also known as Wise, where we be dropping 24 karat gold bars indeed. Family, this has been a request, and we're going to fulfill it today. A lot of people want to know how to handle their money, how to handle credit, how to handle their finances, especially in these times. So I got an expert here that's going to be dropping two 24 karat gold bars indeed. So definitely get your pen, paper, your iPad, your tablet, wherever that recording device is, to make sure you take down the detailed information that's going to change your life, especially financially. But before we do that, I need y'all guys to subscribe, hit the like button, and definitely share. Hey, we're all community here, and more you share this information, more and more people will be blessed to be empowered and to inspired. So, family, I'm not going to hold you. So let's go into this amazing show. Let's go.
At the Wise Hour, we break through the night, bringing knowledge fire, so hold on tight. Every episode, a story to unfold. We're turning every minute into gold.
This is the place where we be dropping 24 karat gold bars indeed. All right, Benjetta, what's going on? Coach Benjetta in the
Hey,
house.
how y'all doing this
Hey,
evening?
hey. All is well. We are so excited to have you here because we had this request. People are got their challenges going on financially and a whole lot like that, and the money funny, you know what I'm saying? And they want to
Mhm.
get it right. So had to have somebody like you who's an expert in finance and stuff. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I want the people to know who you are. So first of all, introduce yourself to the community.
What's up, you guys? My name is Benjetta Steele, and I am the CEO and founder of Motherhood Motivation, where I help consumers and entrepreneurs be able to leverage their personal credit to access six figures in funding for investing to create passive streams of income. So, God brought this passion to me to be able to help others and change their mindset, coaching, mentoring, and just changing the dynamics of my community as far as with their financial literacy and money.
Come on now. Come on now. And that's 24 karat gold bars indeed. And you got special gift and talent. And we thankful for you being here to be able to, enlighten us, inspire us, and get our money right.
Yeah.
Because you said credit and you said finances for us funds and stuff like that, and everybody looking ways to how to get money. So with that being
Mhm.
said, you got a unique title, and I want to make sure you get everybody understand what this title is. You call yourself the mother of motivation. So what inspired you
Yeah.
to actually create that one?
So, Mother of Motivation was inspired one day in my driveway around the beginning of 2019, right? God put this vision in my mind to really help my community as far as with their overall finances. And the reason why they came about is because being young and having two kids by the age of 17, just trying to figure out things through life and seeing some of my friends and family members financially struggle, I always was good with money. I always was good with, setting up financial goals, how to use my tax return for investing. So God told me, I need you to teach my community, right? And then the
Mm,
pandemic hit and it really just, took off for a lot of people. People were not, they didn't have a job, they were without. So that's when I started to learn more about leveraging credit, understanding how to invest. So I took my tax return money and invested into mentorship to help me expand my mind to reach my goals. And then from there, Mother Motivation took off. I started, just being able to educate my family and friends, helping them with their credit. And then from there, I
mm.
was just like, you know what? I have to be able to help more of my community. So God gave me the vision. I ran with it. I was able to do some things at a young age. 28, became a homeowner, being a single
Come on now.
mom, going through the struggle. And it helped me to want to help other people. So
24
that's how
karat
I
gold
came Mother.
bars. Come on. That's what I'm talking about right there. You
Yes.
got the vision, then hey, and you was a being by going forth and living into this vision what God had gave you. So it's just so amazing. So was that a turning point or something? I know you got the vision and you're good with that.
Ooh.
Was there a turning point in your life that actually to cause you to actually develop and become a business?
Yes, it would do. Once again, going through the situation of the pandemic, seeing so many people financially struggle, it lit a flame in me, right? And
Okay.
also just me wanting to expand my income. I said, God, what can I do with what you have given me? The small tools and resources, being able to leverage my 9 to 5. I said,
Hmm.
I know I'm bigger than just working a 9 to 5, Lord. How can I expand this growth? So the turning point for me was being able to use the skills that God had gave me to create another stream of income, right? Because a lot of
Okay.
times we minimize the gifts that God gives us. And I had always been good with doing hair since I was 7 years old. So, I
Come
just
on now.
tapped into my gift, and I just started doing hair from my home because guess what? During the pandemic, a lot of beauty salons were shut down. So I said, "Ooh, this some extra money for me." So I started my beauty business first, and then I transitioned into the financial industry. So I was doing both of those to be able to maintain my income. So I was like, okay, let me be able to help others. And by me working in before I transitioned, I was already working 12-hour shifts at Duke University Hospital. So I was still inside of the chaos. When people was at home working, I still
Hmm.
was. I mean, when people was at home taking a break because of the pandemic, I still was
Hmm.
working. So I
Okay.
was like, you know what? Let me figure out a way to help my people. I started with the hair care, and then I went over to the financial care because I'm like, hey, my people need to be able to get access to capital. What can they do? And that's when I started this journey of mother motivation, teaching the financial literacy aspect.
I
Yep.
love that. I love that journey. Because we know you as being a financial expert and the standpoint, but that's a journey in there. And like you said, with your heart to serve, yeah, heart to serve, but you're multifaceted because I didn't know about the part about the hair. So you're like, you know what? And also, oh, you had the entrepreneur spirit since you're young. Is I ain't mistaken? You just said you were 7 years old when you started. How you had the mindset, and it was already in you that hey,
Mm-hmm.
I want to take charge, I want to have these businesses and stuff like that, and what we call it, the mother of motivation. You had the you were motivated to go forth and not just sit on one thing. You're like, okay, I've done
Mm-hmm.
hair, okay, the pandemic gonna end, I can use this skill set to make money, but how can I help my people more? Let me gain another skill set. And as you evolve, you could just stuck with hair, and hey, you still been helping the community, you still be making money and stuff, but you want to go deeper. And I love that you actually have another journey. And I guarantee you, I know you know how to still, I know you know still how to do hair, is you have to and do what you have to
Listen,
do.
but I care about my health too, so I had to get from behind that chair. So me teaching helped me help others.
Come on now, come on. Motivation, be able to move. I get you. I feel you on this. So I got another
Mhm,
question for you. How did growing up or
mhm.
past financial experiences shape your mindset about credit and wealth building?
So growing up, I didn't really come from that type of lifestyle. Nobody taught me about money management skills. I really grew up in poverty, right? We came from Los Angeles, California. We moved to a rent income based community, but I also seen so many of the people around me, like I said, financially struggle that it put me in a place to want to do better, right? I didn't think I was better, but I did want to do better for myself, and also understanding that I had to be an adult early in life because I had 2 kids by the age of 17. So unlike my friends who could still depend on their parents, I couldn't depend on my parent. I had to go work. I had to think about, how I was spending my money, how I was allocating my funds. So I chose, instead of wasting my income tax money and blowing it, I chose to invest it, right? Because I said, you know
Mm.
what, I like to live a good lifestyle. I don't want to live from paycheck to paycheck. So Lord, what can I do with the funds that you have gave me? How can I leverage my 9 to 5 to fund my 5 to 9? So once again, I really just took just what I had applied to my own lifestyle and own circumstances, and I started teaching people around me. Okay, I wanted to become a homeowner about like 25. I said I wanted to become a homeowner. So then I started doing research, and then
Mm.
I started finding different resources to help me get to that level because I was on Section 8. I came from Section 8 in the poverty, but I also was paying over $1,000 to have Section 8. So I said, well, this doesn't make sense. I need to be building up equity. So that's when I decided to become a homeowner. But my point to say is I use the tools and resources that I was given in my community to be able to achieve these goals. I never wanted to have a mindset of stopping. And I also had to basically, invest my money wisely, right? I had to pay my bills on time. I did go through some hiccups by using my credit the wrong way. But once I taught myself a lesson when it was time for me to purchase a home on cleaning my credit and restoring it in order for me to get access to what I needed, I took the necessary steps to learn it. So therefore, it was like, if I was able to do it, to come from a 500 credit score, purchase a home at 28, be able to retire from my job at 30 years old, be able to build my credit score to an 827, access hundreds of thousands of dollars of other people's money, I could easily be able to teach other people to do the same thing, because I didn't come from a lot. So if I was able to do it with the little that I had, it's no excuse for our community. We just have to invest our time and our money and our resources and apply it. So I started putting together a system. I started learning more to be able to earn more. And that's how I'm here today.
Leaders don't wait for change. They create it. Champions don't walk alone. They stand together in faith in this great collaboration. This is your invitation to the Leaders Live Generously Prayer Breakfast of Champions, a gathering of visionaries, believers, and world changers. Where? I'm telling you, 32747 Grand Traverse, August 30th, 2025 at 9:30 a.m. It will be a morning of revelation, restoration, and renewed strength. Isaiah 40:31 says, "But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They'll mount up with wings as eagles." You know it's your time to soar. I need you to come expecting divine encounters, prophetic impartation, kingdom connections that will shift your life forever. Don't miss this moment with destiny, because when leaders pray, heavens move. I want to see you there. Click now on the link. This is Dr. Prophet Anthony Shannon signing out. I'll see you in the place.
Dropping 24 karat gold bars indeed. Understanding how to use resources and your drive. What I heard is that drive. Be like, okay, this is my current situation, but this does not define me. Let me do the research. Let me get understand the resources I can use to get beyond this current circumstance. If I can do it, that means others can do it. Let me show them how, teach them, instruct them how to. I love it. And like you said, you didn't get a spoon, you didn't have a silver spoon in your mouth. Well, you said I came from this situation and I made moves. I understand process and I did the research. So I love that. I love that. So with that being said, you often speak about empowerment. How is fixing credit more than just a financial move?
Well, it really requires for you to shift your mindset, right? Because when it comes down to our financial lifestyle, our finances affect everything that we do in life. It affects our relationships. It affects how we live. It affects, how we be able to gain access to more capital. It affects everything around us. So myself being mother of motivation, once again, I always been a mother and I always motivated all my family members and friends, even though they didn't see the vision. I'm like, let me help you to see that you have potential to be better than what you are, right? Let me show you and coach you how to take your tax return, pay down some of your debt. So therefore you're no longer stressing yourself about, oh, I can't get access to a $500 credit card, or I can't go to the bank and get a loan, or I can't even create me a bank account because I have, forfeited or didn't pay a loan back to a bank. Let me show you how to change your mindset around that. So once again, it requires for you to shift that mindset. I had to go through. I had to shift my mindset around money and understand that money is a tool for us to leverage. It's not for us. Okay, yeah, we want to pamper ourselves, but we don't want to get ourselves into debt either, right? Always living your means. I always understood, like, Benjetta, stay in your budget. If you don't have it, sit yourself in the house. If you can't, if you're not working to make enough money to drive a Mercedes Benz, keep that Honda. So that's why I see a lot of our community get into that situation. We have to not keep up with the Joneses, but also understand that it's a stepping stone when it comes down to this financial success. If you're looking at the internet and you're trying to keep up with the haves and the have-nots, understand that If you handle your money the right way, if you're paying your debt back on time, if you are building relationships and you're not burning bridges with banks and lenders, then you can achieve the same goals, but it's going to also require discipline and sacrificing, because you're going to have to sacrifice the things that you want for the things that you need. And you're going to have to also discipline your mindset around how you spend your money and what you're spending your money on. So it does require a mindset shift. And I teach that too. I can't take you to fixing your credit if you're only looking at using your credit to buy a car or buy a house. You have to position yourself for that. You have to budget your finances. You have to be willing to get to that next step in order for you to achieve it. And that's just real talk.
Come on now. Come on. I love it. The mindset. Before you even can teach somebody techniques or how to do this and how you do this process and do the process, if your mind not right, you know what I'm saying, you're still going to stay in that stuck mindset or that feeding mindset and that lack mindset. I'm with you 100%. And I love your approach. And like you said, you teach that. So, you know what I'm saying? A family here, we got a coach here who know what she's talking about. So you definitely want to make sure you are still recording. And we're going to have some information at the end, you know, definitely below the like button in the description. So, you know, we definitely want to have information, be able to reach out and be able to contact her if you want more information and get some coaching from her as well. So, all right, well, I want to talk about something. Let me bring this up real quick. It's dealing with like the blueprints to a better score, because a whole lot of people right now, they're struggling with their score and stuff like that. So what I wanted to ask you is, what are some most common misconceptions you hear about credit scores?
Yes. So a lot of myths that I hear is that people think that once they get negative items on their credit profile, that they're stuck there, that they cannot clean up their credit. You can. And even as a financial expert, I'm really big on helping versus trying to just, sell somebody a product. I like to coach you so therefore you can always do it yourself if you don't have the funds to invest into the services, right? So once again, when it comes down to your credit, a lot of times people think, well, I don't know how to do it. Nobody taught me how. Oh, I don't have hundreds of dollars to pay a financial specialist to help me clean my credit. Well, I'm big on using ChatGPT. You can use artificial intelligence just to clean your credit profile by generating a dispute ladder. You might need a coach like myself to help you through the process, but you can easily do that without having any money. And then also understanding that we were not taught in school financial literacy. Nobody really taught us how to use credit. Grandmas and grandpas, they told us to only get one credit card to be able to have for emergencies. That's a lie. You should have multiple credit cards. And I'm going to show you the proof in the pudding. Multiple credit cards. I have multiple lines of credit with different lenders, right? Because the same way that we want to build relationships with our friends and our partners in relationships, you want to build those same strong relationships with banks and lenders who's going to support you financially when it's time for you to need capital from the bank for investing, purchasing property, starting a rental car business, a consulting company, whatever it is. So a lot of times people think that you need a lot of money to make money. No, you need to reshift your mindset and learn the tools to help you be able to create the passive streams of income in order for you to financially elevate. And you can do that just by leveraging credit. Just by leveraging credit, shifting your mindset, and using the tools and resources that you have right at your fingertips. So
okay, so that spawned another question, and I saw the mini credit cards you have. Is that a minimal amount of credit cards we should try to have, or I see you got a lot of them. I don't know everybody be able to do that. Is that a minimal? Should we just have like 2, 3?
Everybody can do it. Everybody. When it comes down to building relationships with banks, you can have a relationship with Chase, Citibank, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, State Employee Credit Union, American Express. You can have a relationship with BMO, First and Citizen, First and National. Now, once again, I didn't come from a lot of money. So I know y'all like, well, why she got all these bank accounts? That's because when you start to build and you start to understand how to use money as a tool, you also change your mindset of, just basically investing, right? So once I understood how credit works and understood how the wealthy people use it to be able to create more streams of income, I started immediately creating relationships. I started small with $500 credit cards, but then I eventually worked my way up to be able to access $120,000 credit limits, right? So, and that's with one bank, right? Because as we grow and you learn on this journey, you'll understand, like, basically what I teach is understanding why it's important to be a business owner, why it's important to turn your side hustle into a actual legitimate business. Because as I have grown with my personal credit on my personal credit on my personal end, it allowed for me to also be able to access 5 times the amount as a business owner. Right? So most of the time, helping people to understand that, okay, you need to start with the smaller banks, start building relationships with credit unions, right? Because I basically want them to build that relationship. So therefore, when banks and lenders start to reevaluate your credit profile, they see that, okay, Sally, she was able to manage a $500 credit limit with State Employee Credit Union and with Navy Federal Credit Union. So when it comes down to Sally having a business, Sally can get access to $5,000 in funding in her business to invest, right? So you keep doing that. You multiply that. So you basically rinse and repeat every time you grow. And once again, I recommend my clients to have no less than 10 banks on their credit profile. You want to have no less than 10 relationships, right? And that's important, because then if you have 10 banks that's willing to give you access to $10,000, you have access to $100,000 that you can start your own rental property business. You can flip homes, you can purchase real estate, you can start a rental car business, and then create more passive streams of income to be able to help you. Really, you can end up quitting your job, retiring from your job early, because now you have leveraged credit to be able to create passive streams of income to help you build that generational wealth, right? So it's a strategic process, but I'm going to teach you the right way. Mother Motivation is going to teach you how to build your credit, how to strengthen your profiles, how to start a business, how to access 6 figures in funding, and then take that money to invest.
All right. So that's spawned other questions, because the discipline, because you have a lot of credit cards. I'm assuming you have to use them once a month and just, and pay them off. Of course, you don't want to keep the debt. But is it a challenge for others? I know you're an expert and you are disciplined. Is it a challenge for others to have that amount of available credit and have the discipline to just use it when it's needed? So what's your thought process? What's your experience with this?
So once again, starting with step 1 is shifting your mindset around money, and then sacrificing. The more you sacrifice, the more discipline you gain, right? And that does require a certain level of responsibility, right? And a lot of times people say, well, Ms. Benjetta, I would never be able to manage those type of credit cards, because that's a story. Once again, you can manage and discipline yourself around anything that you desire to do. It requires for you to also have a strong relationship with God, so therefore you can ask for that discipline along the journey, right? And I do believe that, because it doesn't just fall from thin air. But once you learn how to discipline and pay your debt back, I always set my clients up for success to put all their bills on auto pay. So if you have a banking relationship, you're getting your direct deposit into your State Employee Credit Union account, you're going to set up all your credit cards to reroute to that debit account. So therefore, all your bills are going to get paid on time monthly, so you're never missing a payment. That's how you get that 100% payment history, right? Then moving forward, you're going to always use your credit cards responsibly. So if you have $1,000 credit limit on one credit card, I want you to use 30% of that actual credit card every month. So you're going to pay your light bill, your water bill, your car note, your car insurance. Even when you get your hair done, you pay everything with a credit card. And then you use your debit card that you're getting that direct deposit in to pay down your credit cards, right? So for example, if I have that $1,000 credit card, I use $300 a month for that credit card to pay my light bill. Then I'm going to have it set on, maybe the 1st of the month or the 12th of the month, whichever one that, your direct deposit, going to have that money in. Once it pays that debt back, then it's going to reflect on your credit profile. It's a strategic process around that. But once you set it up for success at the beginning, you don't have to worry about missing a payment. And once you're keeping your credit cards up under 30% utilization, that means that you're not going over your, basically your budget, your debt to income ratio, right? So once again, just because banks give us $1,000 doesn't mean that we spend the whole $1,000 on a shopping spree. That means we use it responsibly to pay our bills, and then we use the money that we're bringing in from our job and our 9 to 5 to pay back the debt. Yeah.
Come on now. 24 karat gold bars dropped indeed. That was true value, and I appreciate you answering that honestly, because a whole lot of people think they can, but they really can. Like you said, start again with your mindset and have the proper coaching in place. That way you there to actually teach you strategies and stuff, how to use, like you said, 30%. Don't go over 30%. Set up auto pay so the things go ahead and pay every day, so you don't have to think about it because it's automatically getting paid out. So like certain bills, is going to be consistent or similar consistent. Of course, you want to monitor your bills and stuff too, but it's the level set of the mindset of having the discipline to be intentional about how you want to handle your finances. I love it. Now we're going to talk about something here right quick because this question came up, and I want to make sure I ask you because I'm waiting for the answer on this one. Can you explain the difference between personal credit and business credit in simple terms?
I would love to. So the difference in between personal credit and business credit, exactly like you said it, one is using your Social Security and the other one is using your business EIN. So therefore it separates your personal income and then the business income, but then it also doesn't reflect on your personal credit profile when you're using business credit.
Okay. All right. So with that being said, should we, those who are entrepreneurs in business, should we do a lot of stuff out our business credit? Like, for example, if you're going out, trips, vacations, or stuff like that, what's your thought process with that?
Everything should be done on your business credit. Everything. Why? Because it's so important as I educate my mentees to understand that you and me, we are walking entities, right? And it gets a little bit deeper, which I teach that in my mentorship, but we are walking entities. Every day you get up, you're paying for gas, you're paying a car note, you're paying mortgage or rent, your light bills, your water bills. And when these actual companies bill us, they're not billing directly us, they're building Benjetta Steele, which is the entity. That's why all our bills come in big cap ladders, right? That's another story for another day. We're all walking entities. When we get up and we go work for these institutions, they're basically paying us a certain percentage to, do the work, and then basically we use that income to be able to pay our bills. Well, bigger, wealthier people, they use credit for everything, right? And basically they use their personal credit as a personal guarantor of the business to be able to get access to 5 times the amount of funding on their business. So if, for example, if you have been able to access $100,000 credit limit on your personal credit profile, you can access $500,000 on your business credit profile just by leveraging good credit. That's why I always preach about why it's so important to have better personal credit, because it's going to change the dynamics of your financial lifestyle. And then another myth that I go through is some people always say, well, Miss Benjetta, I feel like, I don't know what business to start. You are the business. So whatever gift that God has gave you that you're good at, whether if it's talking to your friends, whether if it's preaching in the choir, whether if it's driving your auntie and uncle around as an Uber driver, or whether if it's doing Uber, you should turn that into a legit business. You are a business. You can turn your own personal name into a business and trademark your name and be able to shift everything from your personal side to your business. So that means you can put your mortgage in your home inside your business. You can put your vehicles in your business name. You can put your everything, your light bills, your water bill, all can be in your business. And what you can gain a benefit from as being a business owner is you can get deductions at the end of the year and do certain tax write-offs that you would never be able to do on your personal, right? So then it helps you to benefit. So therefore you're not paying more money back to Uncle Sam, which as a consumer on your personal, you're always paying back taxes. You pay taxes on the money that you get once you get your check. You pay taxes on the products and services that you buy at the store. And then if you don't pay enough taxes at the end of the year, they're going to tax you some more. So guess what I can do as a business owner? I can get deductions on the things that I'm using on my everyday life. And we all should be able to do that. They didn't teach it in school, because if they taught it in school, a lot of us would be millionaires already. Right.
Ooh,
So
come
the
on now.
better your personal credit, the more you have as a business owner. You starting a business is only simple as you doing what you already doing, your lifestyle, and really elevating your mind to be able to access what you need to be able to help create that generational wealth, not just for you, but for your family moving forward. And that's how they do it. If you got good credit, I got good credit, Auntie Susie got good credit, Uncle Tom got good credit, and 5 or 10 of us in the family have good credit. You access $100,000, and the rest of our family access $100,000. We have brought $1 million into our community, which Uncle Sam can have a construction business, Aunt Sally can have a rental property business, and it just keep on cycling in the family. And then we can create more streams of income for our own communities and be able to keep the funds in our community, where we're generating more and more money in our own communities to be
Come
able
on.
to. So that's how I go. That's
Come
how
on.
you grow. It's
I
really
love
not
it. I
that
love
hard.
it.
You are watching The Wise Hour with Jay Malane Wise.
You are watching The Wise Hour with Jay Malane Wise.
You're watching The Wise Hour with Jay Malane Wise.
You're listening to The Wise Hour with Jay Wise. Have you not subscribed? Have you not told somebody else? Are we not commenting? We on The Wise Hour. What we doing?
And guess what? Like you said, it's not how you explain it. It's not that hard, but the thing is having the mindset to be able to do it and execute that way. Because we wasn't thinking about, okay, is Uncle John have like this and Aunt Sally have this? How can we use this as a community builder for us to have business and keep it within the family and see how the money flow? And actually, I witnessed one of my friends. He's a multi-millionaire. And it was about over a year or so ago. I went to visit him, and he had his function stuff. But every time everybody went out to eat, we went to his sister restaurant. And that was a high quality restaurant. So everybody paid, and he did his thing and stuff like that. But the money stayed from where he spent his money, it went to his sister. Where everybody else spent money, it went to his sister. You know what I'm saying? Not, that business. So it stayed within the family. You know what I'm saying? We didn't think of that. We thought about the good food, but at the end of the day, he did a business move.
Yep. And let me just put this out here, because I see this a lot in the African American community, is that we don't have a lot of established businesses. And one thing, when our sister or brother that we went to school with, or our families, we're not as supportive as we would be if we go to the Spanish stores or the Caucasian stores. So to me, it really requires a different level of shifting in the community, in the African American community. So therefore, we can have that sustainable type of financial lifestyle, because a lot of times we are the ones at the bottom of the totem pole that's building up the bigger companies, but we don't really establish our own companies, right? So with that being said, if we understand how to really manage our money and invest our money correctly, we would have $1 trillion in the African American community, because we are the actual consumers and investors when it comes down to spending our money at another bigger company that's outside of our community. So once again, when people have this type of knowledge and they get access to it, it don't only just change their mindset, it changes their financial lifestyle, how they live, how they're able to travel more. Literally, I travel twice a month getting on a flight. I use my American Express credit cards to get 5 times the amount of reward points to be able to cash that in for like paying my light bill or buying groceries for my family. So the money that I already was going to spend on a debit card, I use the credit card, and I basically create reward points, which is what most of these wealthier people do, right? And then you just basically really live a better lifestyle, but that does require putting in time and over years of, I'm 34 now. I started building credit at 18, but I didn't always have these resources. So over the last decade of learning how to to use credit, it changed the whole dynamics of how my lifestyle changed. So as a single mother, I'm able to travel once and twice a month just by using the points on my credit cards. I'm able to pay for flights. I'm able to pay for hotels. I'm able to take care of my family better. I'm able to live a better life and retire at 30 years old to not only feel like I needed that freedom to be able to have time with my sick mother, or, take my children to school, or be able to, just live the life that I desire, but it just changed everything. So I know that what I'm saying is it can change your life if you are willing to sacrifice, discipline yourself, shift your mindset, understanding that it's tools and resources out here to change your financial lifestyle, investing into your credit for 6 to 12 months, but for that to be for a lifetime, because when you're going to need credit until you leave this earth, right? So with that being said, long as you are here in America, you're going to need that good credit. So therefore you can pay lower interest rates on vehicles, be able to get approved for more home ownership in the African American community, being able to start more businesses and getting access to more capital. So therefore you can grow and expand your business by hiring staff, purchasing the products you need, getting the storefront you need, doing the things that you desire to do without feeling like you're using the money out your pocket and you're mentally struggling and draining yourself, where you got to go back and get a job because you did not have the right mentor on the journey.
Come on now. 24 karat gold bars dropped indeed. And I mean indeed. All right, I won't keep it going because I got a couple questions given to me. And so I want to make sure these things get answered so nobody can say, hey, I didn't get my question answered. What is your process for helping someone go from poor credit to an 800 plus score?
Yes. So my process with helping anybody, whether if it's a consumer or entrepreneur, is basically once I get on a 15-minute call with them and I hear their goals, what are they working towards? What has been hindering them through the process? We first start with, of course, listening to their goals, but then also pulling their credit report so I can channel in and see exactly what's impacting them. Once I highlight the negative items as far as collections, charge-offs, bankruptcies, repossessions, evictions, late payments, inquiries, any inaccurate personal information, then the next step is for the consumer or the entrepreneur to say, I need this in order for me to be able to financially elevate. It's time for them to invest into themselves, because that's where a lot of people struggle in. They don't invest into themselves like they want to. Like they should. They invest into clothes, jewelry, relationships, and so forth. So the next step is for them to invest in themselves. Once we take that direction, then we can start with helping them to dispute the actual the negative items on their profile with TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Now, that process can typically take anywhere between 3 to 12 months based on the negative items that's on a client's credit profile. So once again, a lot of people think that, my credit's supposed to be clean in 30 days. It took you over 10 years to mess up your credit. So it's going to take you some time to fix your credit. So you have to lock in 3 to 12 months. You don't wait to fix your credit when you need it. You fix it in advance. That's why I always teach from a perspective of proper preparation prevents poor performance. If we use that when it comes down to ourselves for success, we'll always be blessed. So once again, once you lock in based on, what's negatively impacting your credit, and you sit back and you enjoy the ride of having a specialist help you to clean your credit profile, that basically looks like us sending out dispute letters to the credit bureaus. I basically coach my client on how to do it, or we can do it for them. Either way, it's an investment of your time and your finances. All right, for credit profile up, because once you remove negative items, you have to also put positive items back on there in order for you to get access to that 700 or above credit profile. It will not create itself. You have to build it up, right? Because negative items make up your credit profile too. So with that being said, I want to put this in there. A lot of people have been struggling with student loans being put back on their credit profile. Those can be removed too. Medical bills, those can be removed too. It's all about using consumer law on behalf of your fight with the credit bureaus, TransUnion, and Equifax. These companies are only entities that house your information and report it to the other databases in order for them to basically hold you back from getting where you need to go. So when you have an expert like myself who understands consumer law, who understands what the bureaus are doing, then you are one step ahead of the game versus a person who don't. So with that being said, after we have cleaned your profile, after we have built your credit profile, which can take anywhere between 45 to 60 days with building it up, after we have removed the negative items, now we want to be able to go and get whatever you desire, whether if it was that home, vehicle, or even business capital for investing, right? And the reason why you want to have better credit before you start to apply for a new home or a vehicle or business funding is because you want to get the 0%, you want to get the lower interest rates on homes. You want to get the higher approvals. You want to get the lower interest rates on vehicle purchases, and you want to get higher approvals. And with business credit, we can also get you access to 0% interest credit cards from 12 months to 24 months. So therefore you can invest without having to feel like you're paying interest the next month. That's the difference in between what type of funding I offer versus business loans. Once we get that together and we get you funding on your personal end, then it's imperative that I make all my clients start a business. I'm not letting you walk away from me without starting a business. I don't care if you started a business and sat on it and you didn't have nothing to do with the business right now. You're going to start that business because that business is going to also help you access more capital to create more passive streams of income. So I want you, what I teach from my perspective of mother motivation, I'm going to teach you how to start your own short-term rental arbitrage business to create an extra $5,000 to $10,000 a month. I want to teach you how to start your own rental car business, because one thing we always need in anybody's life is somewhere to stay and something to drive, right? So those are the two type of businesses I have, because no matter what you do, you're gonna have it. All right, now I'm gonna wrap this up. Once you get business going, we build business credit, we access 5 times the amount of funding on your business, and then it's time for us to invest, to scale, and be able to grow. So you just basically rinse and repeat. You grow and you teach your kids this because it's imperative for us to be able to change the dynamics. It's no more lack of information. It's no gatekeeping. It's time for us to level up. It's 2025. You got artificial intelligence taking over, and we need to keep up with the program or we're going to stay stagnant in the life that we live. And that's just period.
Come on now. That's what I'm talking about. 24 karat gold bars. Indeed. Come on now. Like I said, it's no excuse. And you're talking, and this is when we're talking about generation wealth. We can establish it today by what we learn, what we practice, changing our mindset, then pass it on to our family, pass it on to our children, pass it on to those so we can keep this going. It's all start, like you said, from the mind and having the right person. Getting the right person there, you know what I'm saying? You are there, like you said, you there to help. You know it, you straightforward. And the thing is, you're not just going there just trying to get yours. What you're trying to do is teach them how to get theirs. And that's what I love about it. I have one more business related question. I'm going to ask this one. So, so all the business related questions be out of the way. Tell us about Paydex score. What is it? And why should business owners care?
Yes, so business Paydex score is basically very similar to your personal credit score, except the scoring modules is a little bit different. So on your personal credit profile, you have your scores are between 300 being the lowest and 850 being the highest. And we always want to use the FICO scoring system versus the Vantage scoring, which we can get into that in another session, right? Now with your business credit profile, you have a Paydex score, which is scaled anywhere between 0 to 100 being the highest, 0 being the lowest. Now, how business credit works is it reports to Equifax, Experian, and Duns and Brads. So it's really important that we generate a business Paydex score. So therefore, when it's time for us to go get funding from the banks or loans or any type of capital lines of credit from the bank on your business, that you have a Paydex score that shows your business credibility. So therefore, you can be able to get access to the higher limits, the higher approvals, very similar to your personal. The better your personal credit, the more access you can get to capital. The lower your personal credit, the more you're going to pay higher interest rates, and you're not going to really get approved for anything big, right? So with that being said, it works hand in hand. Now, I know a lot of times, on the back end, they say get an LLC, get an S Corp, it separates your personal and business because of the limit liability. But when you are first starting out as an entrepreneur and business owner, they're going to use you as the personal guarantor. So say for instance, Jay go and start a brand new business and you need to get access to capital. They're going to have to use your personal credit to reevaluate how you're going to be able to manage your business credit. Because if you have had bad financial habits as a person, you're going to more than likely take those same habits and mindset into your business. So that's why it's important that you take step 1 before jumping to step 10 in order for you to really win, right? So that Paydex score is basically showing your credibility. It scales anywhere between 0 to 100. 80 is really the positive number of business credit that you want to be able to have before you start to go and apply for any type of funding. So therefore, you can be able to get access to what you need. If you have an 80 or above, you are the man with the plan, because that's basically like a score, a B score or above. So I always recommend to help my clients to have great personal credit. Start with your personal credit first, because if you got bad personal credit, you're going to have a bad business spending habit and get bad business credit. Then we go to the business. So therefore, you can be able to generate the capital you need. And once you generate, relationships with Capital One, Chase, Truist, Bank of America, and so forth, by leveraging your personal credit as a business owner, is going to allow you to get access from those banks in order for you to create that business relationship and business credit on your business end. So leveraging your personal credit to be able to help you build business credit, to be able to access the capital. That's how your business Paydex score works as a business owner. It's a lot.
Wonderful.
But
I'll tell you right now, and you're the right person for it. Come on now. That was value right there. I know. I hope y'all have tape recorders. Well, I don't know. You can also go back and hit the replay on this, folks. So So just so you know, that was valuable information, and understanding how we can relate and do stuff business wise, but how our personal finances does impact the business standpoint. And I love the way how you broke it down, because this is something that's not taught, and we as people misuse credit. Credit can be a benefit if you apply it right and have the discipline and the right mindset how to use it. All right, we're gonna be wrapping up the show soon, but it's 2 more business related questions that I definitely need. There's gonna be 1 more question that I definitely got to ask. So these questions, all right, let me ask this one right here. What is OPM? That is other people money. I guess I already just explained it. And how do entrepreneurs responsibly use it?
OPM, what is other people money? This is other people money. So let's just say, for instance, we go to the banks and we deposit our money into our bank accounts. Now, what the banks do is they basically take our money and loan it back out for a higher percentage, right? So they're loaning it back out. I deposit my money into the bank account. Jay goes to the bank and apply for a business credit card, a business loan. They're going to loan my money out to Jay at a higher percentage of like maybe 5%, 10%, and so forth, right? Now, basically, OPM is basically you creating those relationships with different banking institutions. Like I said, Bank of America, Chase, Capital One, American Express, Truist, Wells Fargo, and so forth. Once you create those relationships and you start using their banking products like a checking account, and you're depositing your funds in there, or your direct deposit is going in there, now you're building a relationship with the actual creditor. So when it's time for me and Jay to go to that bank and get a loan or a business credit card or a personal credit card, a business line of credit, the banks are going to say, well, I see that Mr. Wise, you have had a relationship with us for the last year or so, and I see that you are inquiring for a $50,000 credit card. Let's see how we can better assist you with getting you access to the funding you need, because you have a relationship with us, you have great personal credit, and your business is structured and ready for you to get access to some capital. Let's see what we can do. So once again, they'll loan you out the other people money, which is the bank's money, but it's our money that we're depositing in accounts. The banks loan it back out to us for a certain period of time and charge us more interest on the back end, and we're basically using that for investing. That's how I go. I can't break it down no more.
Hey, I think you did a great job of breaking it down, and now get the idea how we can go forth and do and build upon that to be able to get a business using other people's money. Like I love the way you just went holding had that stack up there, had that proud, like, hey, this stack right here, this other people's money right here, folks. We're talking about.
This
So
other people's
I
money.
love it.
I don't use my own money no more. I use strictly other people's money for investing, and Benjetta don't make no money. Mother Motivation makes money, but Benjetta don't make anything. I'm using other people's money to do that.
Come on now. 24 karat gold bars dropped indeed. And then we got one more business question. All right. How do people, excuse me, let me say this right. How do you help people qualify for $50K and $500K in funding?
Yes. So how I help individuals, whether if you are a consumer working a 9 to 5, if you are an entrepreneur starting doing hair or construction or rental car business, basically, once again, I always like to do an actual strategy call. During that strategy call, I'm going over your goals. I'm going over what you're trying to accomplish, because everybody's goals is different. Some people might want a house and a car as a consumer, and as an entrepreneur and business owner, they might need capital in order for them to invest and hire staff, purchase product. So once again, I listen to the goals. We analyze the client's personal credit profile. Once we analyze if they have a clean credit profile, now they can move forward to building their credit report. If they have negative items, now they can move forward to disputing the negative items. Right now, once they have built their credit profile, establishing stronger relationships and being able to add credit builders and trade lines to their credit report, now we can move forward by going to the bank and accessing the capital. Now we have to start off. Everybody doesn't start off with $50,000. You have to start off small and build your relationships. So building your relationships require at least 6 months, 3 to 6 months worth of relationship building, because they might start you off with a $500 credit card, but if you're using it responsibly and you're disciplining yourself and paying your debt back every month before it reports to the actual credit bureaus, then basically every 90 days we go back for a credit limit increase. So we have multiple different levels of rounds that we take our clients through, but that does require for us to discipline and spend our money the correct way. Right? So over a period of 6 to 12 months, if they're spending their money correctly and they're using the finances correctly, then that's how we're able to get access to the $50,000 to $100,000 on the personal end. Once again, this is just on the personal end. And we're building, let's just say, for instance, we always make sure that we create 5 to 10 relationships. Because remember, I told you the data points on your personal credit profile, you want to have at least 10 established relationships with different credit card companies and lenders and creditors, period. Right? So whether that look like, I told you at the beginning, you want to start with credit union, state employee credit union. Down here in North Carolina, we have state employee, Duke Credit Union, Navy Federal Credit Union. Those are my 3 picks that I have. And then we build relationships with the bigger banks like Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase, American Express, Truist, Citibank, who else we have? Discover. So those are 10 banking relationships right there. And you don't have to put a lot of money in it. You can put like $100 in each bank account, which will be equivalent to $1,000, right? 100 times 10 banks, that's $1,000, right? So you don't have to have a lot of money. But once you are using those banking products, after 30 to 45 days, now we can go to the actual bank and access a line of credit. As long as your personal credit is good, we can go to the bank and access a line of credit. So therefore, I'm walking them through the stages in order for them to be able to, have everything they need. Step 1, credit. Step 2, building the credit. Step 3, leveraging the credit to access capital, other people's money. Step 4, take that money, investing into starting a business. Step 5, building a business credit and relationships with the bank. Step 6, getting access to 5 times the amount of funding on the business. Step 7, invest. Step 8, scale. Step 9 is be able to expand a little bit more by hiring staff to help you grow even more. And step 10 is bring in a return on your investment, pay down your debt down, rinse and repeat.
Come
That's
on
how
now.
we do it.
Woo. That's true value. 24 karat gold bars.
It's 3 to 5 years. Tell them 3 to 5 years as a business owner. Business ain't everybody. Business just don't grow overnight. Now, Rome won't built overnight, and a home not built overnight. So you lock in 1 to 3 years in your business with the right coaching and mentorship, you can scale that business, and then you can eventually live your financially free lifestyle, taking the vacations you desire to give you that peace of mind and just expanding. We got to do it for ourselves, our children, and then the ones in the next generation.
Come on now. I'm loving this. Family, y'all should got all that. Y'all should have wrote that down. So notes again. Hey, y'all can always hit the replay. And so I got one more question for you. I want to make sure you're ready for this one, all right? On the Wise Hour, we always ask this question. Define the word life and what do life means to you?
Life means growth. Life means loving. Life means caring. Life means believing. Life means manifesting. Life means treating people how you want to be treated. Life means using the tools and resources to be able to get to the next level. Life means really enjoying yourself and not just doing what corporate America has taught us. Life means really stepping outside of the box and living your true life in order for you to feel like you have accomplished what God has put you here for. That's what life means.
Come on now. Come on. 24 karat gold bars drop.
Every day. Oh, listen, living in freedom every day. That's what life means. Living in freedom every day.
Ooh, wait, living in freedom every day. I might have to take a toe. I give you credit for that one. I have to take that one.
Listen, God just gave it. I gotta give it to God. We're gonna give it to
him. Yes. I love that. Living in freedom every day. I'm gonna have to use that one. I got another meeting and later on today. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna drop that one in there. I'll give you credit for it, but I'm gonna drop it. All right.
I love it.
Tell the community how they can get in contact with you.
Yes, if you want to get in contact with Mother Motivation, you can find me on IG and Facebook at I am Benjetta the Boss. And then you also can find me on YouTube at Boss Lady Benjetta. And then you also can find me on TikTok at I am Boss Lady, and it always has an I, so it's BOSSLADI. And then also my number is 919-670-5112. Let's grow together.
Let's grow together. She gave you a phone number, so y'all about to be using that because she can be dropping you some more 24 karat gold bar that you can definitely not drop but keep indeed. I love it. And when we have an opportunity to, we would love to have you back on the podcast to be able to share more of that great knowledge and that motivation. I'm so empowered and inspired right now. And that's the one thing about you. You just don't come with information. It's the energy that you give out as well. So we appreciate you, Benjetta, and looking forward to have you on the next Wise Hour.
Thank you all so much. I genuinely appreciate you as well. And let's grow together. It's time to level up.
What is that? 24 karat gold bars dropped indeed. Oh, Benjetta, man, she laid it out for you. And the information that she gave definitely is life-changing. So definitely, if you want to know more about this stuff, go back, hit the replay on that. And definitely check the links below to how to be able to contact Benjetta as well, because she's amazing and she's excellent in what she does. All right, family. You want to support this channel? I also have a merch line. You can go to this link right here, and this link right here will take you to the Wear t-shirt, understanding where you are, dropping the 24 karat gold bars t-shirts as well, and more merch is on the way. So definitely, family, you want to support the channel, do that. Let me say this, family. Love is an action word. While you're taking the time to love yourself, make sure you show love to someone else, and we'll see you on the next Wise Hour, family. So take care and peace.
Feeling lost in the crowd, hard-headed, just a little loud, but searching for a brighter day. In the midst, find our way. Pain shadows every move, struggle trying to improve. Hope whispers in my ear, telling me the way to feel. Breaking free, living the life indeed. Breaking free, set to rise, dreams that we chase. No time to waste. Voices calling out my name, time to break out from the same. Chains fall away like rain, freedom never felt this way. Heartbeats taking the lead, planting courage like a seed. On this path we'll unite, in the darkness find the light. Breaking free, living the life indeed. Breaking free, set to rise, dreams that we chase, no time to waste. Breaking free, living the life indeed. Breaking free, set to rise, dreams that we chase, no time to waste. Voices calling out my name, time to break out from the same. Chains fall away like rain, freedom never felt the same. Heartbeats taking the lead, planting courage like a seed. On this path we'll unite,